One of nature's most extraordinary events takes place on the Pacific coast of Costa Rica, where tens of thousands of sea turtles come ashore to lay their eggs in unison.
There's so many of these turtles.
The occasion attracts another iconic creature.
You've got a jaguar kill?
Yeah.
Jaguars. They lurk in the shadows, ready to pounce.
I'm a bit nervous because it means that there's a jaguar somewhere lurking in these woods.
Jaguar attacks on turtles are increasing rapidly. But what's behind this change? And how does it impact these fragile ecosystems, both on land and at sea? The natural world is full of delicate and complex webs of interactions between species. But the slightest disruption can have major consequences. I'm Patrick Aryee, biologist and filmmaker, and I'm traveling the world to investigate ecosystems undergoing dramatic change, identifying the impacts and what aftershocks may be yet to come. The Pacific Ocean. It's the planet's largest and deepest body of water, host to an abundance of marine wildlife, including these majestic and ancient reptiles that developed alongside dinosaurs about 100 million years ago. The olive ridley is one of the smallest of the 7 sea turtle species, and at this time of year, they're headed to the few pristine nesting grounds left around the world. 2 of which are here, along the sandy shores of Costa Rica. The event is known as the Arribada, or arrival in Spanish. But in the past decade, researchers have seen a significant increase in jaguars attacking and killing these vulnerable animals. It's a surprising connection between 2 very different species. I want to find out why the jaguars here have developed a taste for turtles, and whether these opportunistic attacks could jeopardize the survival of the olive ridleys. I'm headed to the Guanacaste Conservation Area at the northern tip of Costa Rica. It's a network of national parks, forest reserves, and protected waters established in the 1970s. The landscape is a mosaic of primary and secondary forest, teeming with an extraordinary abundance of life, including more than 900 species of fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. The preservation of this landscape has been so successful that in 1999, it was added to the list of World Heritage Sites.
Well done.
Thanks. Once we get to the beginning of the trailhead, we're all going to get out, get our packs on our back, and then we've got about an hour, 2-hour hike to the beach.
The most recent turtle kill was at Playa Nancite, a small strip of land at the edge of the Santa Rosa National Park. Only scientists are allowed here. Fortunately, we've been granted special access, but getting there is going to be quite the challenge.
Okay, we had a little wild ride. We have come to the end of the road. If we're lucky, we will be able to get to the coast, to get to the beach, just in time for sunset. It's gonna be worth it. Let's do it, guys. We're gonna climb up to the top of this ridge line, then we're gonna start heading down.
This is where jaguars meet turtles, at the intersection of their respective habitats between the land and the sea. And it's where I begin my investigation to understand this wild connection, to find out why this big cat is leaving the forest to hunt on the beach.
We thought the hardest part was going to be climbing up, but it's actually just as hard going down because the rocks are super loose and you can actually pick up a bit of momentum, and then before you know it, it's generally a race against time because we really want to get to the coast to catch a beautiful sunset. But also, just from a safety perspective, when you're on these types of expeditions, you really want to arrive at your site before nightfall. Yeah, I can smell the sea, hear those crashing waves. Yes. Oh, nice. What an incredible view. Absolutely spectacular. Really glad that we made it here in time, before dark, just before dark. This is perfect. We're on Nancite Beach. It's about a kilometer stretch, so not too long, enough space for us to witness this incredible spectacle. Somewhere out there are hundreds, if not thousands, of female olive ridley sea turtles, and they are loaded full of eggs. They're going to storm this beach, potentially as early as tonight. And then once they get onto the sand, they're going to turn into these lumbering giants and start hauling themselves up the beach to find the right spot to lay those eggs. Each female is probably going to deposit a clutch of about 100 golf ball sized eggs, and then they're going to turn around and head back to the sea. And then with about 45 days, those eggs are going to start hatching and start heading back out to sea. The reason I'm here is to try and capture that behavior. So fingers crossed, we get to see it.
Experts believe the timing of the Arribada is connected to the lunar cycle and the tides. Activity often peaks in the nights between the full moon and new moon. The sea turtles, however, start their approach well before nightfall. After a long journey swimming to these shores, they gather in the bay and wait for their cue. This is my chance to take a closer look.
I'm keeping an eye out here because on land I couldn't see any turtles. I'm just going to scan the water surface and see if I can spot anything. If I can't see anything up here, I might just actually have to get into the water.
These gatherings are known as flotillas. It's the last step before the final push to reach land. How the olive ridleys navigate thousands of miles to get to this specific location isn't yet fully understood.
The thing about sea turtles is that they are such an iconic symbol of wildlife conservation, yet we still know so little about their life cycle, especially their life out at sea. What we do know is that they like to inhabit the waters of the tropics, and they do that around the world, particularly on the Pacific coast, in the Atlantic, close to West Africa, and also in the Indian Ocean. They like to feed on animals like jellyfish, but they also can dive up to 500 feet to reach fish in the benthic zone. These are fish, crustaceans that live on the sediment of the seabed. I think I might have gone a bit too far out, so I'm going to get a bit closer to the shore.
When they're swimming, sea turtles come to the surface to breathe every few minutes. But when they're resting, they can stay underwater for up to 7 hours.
Okay, I've got a turtle right in front of me, but here's the actual trouble. Basically, I don't want to disturb the turtles too much. I want to drift up to them nice and slow, but as I'm approaching, they're coming up, raising their heads, getting a breath of air, and they can see me. They're kind of like spy hopping. And as soon as once I'm within a couple of meters, they heads down, and they dive. So it's actually quite tricky, a lot harder than I would have imagined to see them from close proximity, at least from the kayak. But we're going to keep on trying whilst respecting their space.
As the turtles gather out at sea, back on land, scientists are also making preparations.
This place is very special because occurs Arribada. Arribada is a crazy different behavior of the sea turtles.
And so, Kevin, Juan Carlos, Victor, do you also spend your time researching sea turtles as well?
Well, the top predators in this ecosystem is jaguars, of course, and one of the main prey of jaguar in this place is sea turtles. That doesn't happen everywhere in the world. You know, there are special places like this one. So for us, it's a special importance because we have the marine research that Luis is leading, and there's great information about sea turtles. And then we come with great information about jaguars, and we can both overlap the information that we have in order to understand the whole ecosystem, the whole two ecosystem work together.
Nice.
In order to understand carnivore behavior, you have to understand as well prey behavior. So this is why everything is connected. I cannot only focus on sea turtles because jaguar not only prey on sea turtles, they also prey on herbivores, frugivores, omnivores, other species distributed in the whole national park.
Boom.
There you go.
There we go. We've got two jaguars. They look like two animals.
In the past decade, between 20 and 50 kills have been recorded every year. The researchers have also identified around 20 different jaguars just by comparing the patterns on their coats. This many cats in such a small area is near unprecedented. The jaguars of Costa Rica lost almost half their original range due to deforestation. But in the protected forests of Guanacaste, they're now thriving. About 135 individuals roam this park. So could it be that competition for food is forcing this apex predator out of the forest and onto the beach?
Oh, look, watch your step.
I'm tagging along with Victor and his team of carnivore specialists to try and figure this out.
Victor, what are you looking for? All of a sudden you've broken away from us and you're coming over here, so...
All right, I'm walking this way. I'm looking for jaguar tracks. If you can see, mostly of the time when a turtle came in, they also came off. So when you find a track that only came in, you can speculate that a jaguar grabbed this turtle.
This looks like almost like the tracks of, I don't know, an ATV. But these are the tracks left from these females as they're coming up from the ocean. And it looks like a female's nested here. But then, I mean, where are the tracks going then?
In this case, it came from one side. You can see that it made a U-turn.
Oh, okay, so it has gone round, and then, and so these two tracks here, these parallel tracks are from the same turtle?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Had a jaguar captured this turtle, it would have dragged it into the forest by pulling on its head or flippers. The forest provides jaguars with protection. It's where they feel safe enough to take the time to pull the flesh from the carcass and feast. But they don't eat the whole turtle at once. They'll feed for a short period and return later, either the same evening or for several nights after.
If you take a look at this carcass, this hole seems like vultures. You can see that everything that is a hard part of the body
It's still intact.
is still intact.
The skull isn't crushed, it's still intact, the shell's still intact. So those, what look like puncture wounds, are from vultures that are scavenging on this carcass here.
There are many scavengers that benefit from jaguars preying on sea turtles. And around here, vultures are at the top of the pecking order. But smaller species, like hermit crabs, also play a key role in breaking down the decaying carcasses. Aside from facing stiff competition to find the next shell they'll call home, Pacific hermit crabs survive by eating just about anything, including vulture leftovers. All the animals on the beach that feed on either fresh turtle kills or decaying bodies create a flow of nutrients from the ocean ecosystem to the land. For the jaguars, however, vultures are stiff competition. A wake of vultures can make quick work of a dead turtle and pick it clean within 24 hours. But that's only if the jaguar breaks open the turtle's carcass with its powerful bite.
So let's have a look here. Bam, first clue. The head is completely separated from the body. It's a couple of meters away. And look at that. Isn't that is pretty incredible. Look at these bite marks and the remnants of this shell. Jaguars are thought to have one of the strongest bite forces of any of the wildcats. And with that bite force is able to just make really light work of this shell. It's really thick. Really, it's been completely, all of it's been used. So would we say that this turtle has most definitely been predated on by a jaguar, and a jaguar specifically?
Yeah, exactly.
And the proof is here. This is the
Ah,
hole made
puncture
up of
wound
one
here.
of the canines.
Oh, well, two.
Here's another one. The jaguar is the only wildcat in this continent that can break this.
Sometimes they like to chew the head and
Suck up the goodness from the brains.
Right.
Ah. Why do all animals like to eat brain juice? No? That's the kind of thing that a zombie would do.
yeah, but
This is the most nutritious, one of the most nutritious part of the body, right? Because
Yeah.
it concentrates a lot of vitamins, a lot of things.
A lot of fat.
Exactly.
How long do we think this carcass has been here for?
6-7 weeks, pretty much.
This turtle carcass with jaguar bite marks is hard evidence of the unlikely connection between these two species. As night falls on this remote corner of the planet, the nocturnal behavior of these two creatures is finally about to play out.
Okay. Now, I don't know if tonight is going to be the big night. I have a good inkling that it is going to be. But there's only one way to find out. That's to get down to the beach. Now, I know for a fact that turtle hatchlings are affected by white light. I don't know how the adults respond, but I think that it's probably a good idea to turn off our white lights and switch to infrared.
Darkness brings an element of safety for the adult females coming ashore to lay their eggs, and artificial light sources have the potential to disorient them. Oh, look, here's one here. Here's one right here.
First turtle.
Yes! Oh my goodness, okay. So right here,
We've got our first female olive ridley turtle, and she's already come up about 50 meters from the water. She's already, look at those flippers going.
these adult females have traveled incredible distances from their feeding grounds to reach Nancite. For some, it's a homecoming. The last time they were here, they were mere hatchlings. Now, about 15 years later, they've crossed half the Pacific Ocean to mate and nest in the place they themselves were born. How these remarkable navigators do it isn't yet fully understood, but it's no wonder that they seem absolutely exhausted.
Once they're up on land, they are extremely vulnerable. In the ocean, they're graceful and they can just move through the water with absolute ease. But on land, I mean, the only way to describe them is like lumbering giants. And that is when they're at their most vulnerable, because the jaguars, which we know are in this part of the forest and this part of the beach, can easily just come down to the water's edge and, you know, have their fill. Literally, turtles everywhere. Shut there to our left and to our right. How's it going, guys? Is that Luis? How you doing, brother? You guys all right? I mean, we don't have the thousands of turtles that we're expecting just yet. I mean, it's still early on in the evening, But I think from what I've seen so far, I reckon we've definitely got a few hundred turtles here.
Yeah, it's impossible count every turtle. It's impossible. Yeah. The idea is make a estimation, and every night I count in transects, each 2 hours. Only count the turtles when laying the eggs. Not when the turtle walk, not when the turtle digging. It's only when the turtle laying the eggs. This method is a standard of all Arribada beaches around the world.
And how long do they spend up here on the beach when they're nesting? From the moment they come out of the water, nest, and then go back into the water, how long does that take?
When the tide is high, maybe 1 hour.
1 hour might not sound like a lot, but it's an eternity for these vulnerable females. On land, they're nowhere near fast enough to escape their predators. And unlike tortoises, sea turtles can't retract their head and flippers into their shell for protection.
Hey,
The Jaguar killed 1 turtle.
you've got a jaguar kill?
Yeah,
Whereabouts? How far?
head through the trees. Like
Okay.
200 meters from
200 meters, okay. We've got to watch her. Okay, everybody watch your step. You know, in terms of going on a real wild adventure, it doesn't get any better than this. You've got the start of the Arribada, a truly unique event that happens in very few places in the world. And not only that, we have evidence of jaguar here and this new behavior, taking turtles from the beach. I want to get a bit closer to that carcass, but guys, we've got to be really careful because clearly there's been a jaguar here very, very recently. So everybody, let's be careful. What I'm doing right now before I get any closer is just shining this white light into the tree line here, just to see if I can pick up any eye shine. Of course, it'd be a bad idea to get close to a jaguar kill and then end up getting in the way of a jaguar that's still here. Kind of in two minds right now because, of course, it is pretty gruesome. It's really not the most prettiest of scenes, and also I'm a bit nervous because it means that there's a jaguar somewhere lurking in these woods.
This cat's tactics are exactly what Luis and Victor described. A quick dispatch with a powerful bite to the head. The elusive predator is already gone, waiting for the right opportunity to return.
Patrick, I see other turtle.
Another jaguar
Yeah.
kill?
Come with
Okay,
me.
let's head that way. Oh, this one over here.
Yeah. Look at the head.
Oh my goodness, okay. That is I mean, the turtle's still alive actually, but a jaguar's come through here. Can we see any tracks? Are these tracks here?
Yeah.
Look, we've got the jaguar tracks just there. You can see the tracks of its paws. So potentially the jaguar's managed to make a kill here, and then it's gone further up towards the tree line and made a second kill. We've got 2 at least. Yeah, this isn't a pretty sight at all. How fresh do you think this kill is?
Maybe 50 minutes.
Only 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So whilst I've been on this beach, a jaguar has been walking up here, and we haven't even seen it.
In the end, the jaguar never came back for its prey. And that left me puzzled. If this big cat wasn't even hungry, why did it risk leaving the safety of the forest to patrol the open beaches?
Victor, last night was amazing. We didn't get to see jaguars in the flesh, but we did get to see evidence of their presence through the predation of turtles. We had 2 fresh kills. I want us to pay some attention to one of the kills in particular, The one that was closest to the tree line, that looked like it had a significant bite taken out of it. But the one that was halfway up the beach, it looked like the head had just been crushed a little bit. It didn't really look like the jaguar had really started eating it. So that feels a bit unusual to me. Can you help explain what was going on there?
I think that would be two options. The first one, a juvenile with not much experience, and another one can be a female with a cub that is like saving food. You know, if they didn't open the whole carcass, the vultures would not be allowed to extract the meat. So next time when she came back with the cub, they can remove the neck and then start eating all the flesh in the inside.
Interesting. Okay, so it's actually a really clever tactic.
Exactly. For example, if they remove, part of the shell as well as the head, the vultures can be able to introduce their head in the inside and extract the meat. But if they just have the whole thing, even though they can do punctures on the body, they cannot access that meat. So you can save plenty of meat for the next night.
I saw raw evidence with my own eyes that jaguars were indeed killing turtles, 2 in one night, while we were on the beach, just meters away from us. What I want to know is, what effect is this predation on turtles having on the rest of the ecosystem?
At this time of the year when we have arribadas, jaguars tend to cluster around the beaches because there is plenty of food. But if you go to the dry season, you can see a different behavior. They still go to patrol the beaches, but not as often as they do it right now. So you can see them in other places looking for water holes, species like deer, like peccaries, like agoutis. They can easily change the prey they use during the year, but exactly at this time of the year when we have so many turtles, they like to stay close to the food.
Half a century into the regeneration of this vast protected tropical dry forest, and it's clear that jaguars are thriving. But in an isolated ecosystem like this, any change in behavior of one species will quickly affect many others, especially when it's the top predator. I've asked Victor to take me inland to find out what goes on deeper within the forest while our big cat is on beach patrol.
So how many camera traps do we have in this particular location?
In this particular location, we have just one. But in the whole national park, we have about 35.
Victor and his Jaguar team have been gathering data using camera traps for over a decade. It's the most efficient and least intrusive way of monitoring the health of this dry forest. Victor's recorded over 2,500 separate wildlife events, counting 64 different species of mammals, reptiles, amphibians, and birds.
Right now, this is the end of the wet season. You can see it right there. The water is still flowing. But if you come here and see that place right there, wait,
We're looking at
tapir tracks
here.
right here.
Ah, yeah.
You can see it.
They look like such funny creatures, especially the nose, which kind of was almost like prehensile, that can move around.
Yeah, but if you delve into the physiology of the animal, they look more like horses.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, they love water.
Tapirs are Central America's largest native land mammal. They're shy animals that frighten easily. When disturbed, they use their bulk to charge through the forest undergrowth to find refuge.
During these months when jaguars are kind of changing where they tend to roam, they're getting closer to the beaches, does that affect, I don't know, the temperament of tapirs? Do they get less scared and maybe more bold than normal?
Well, what I think is like, jaguars scare the tapirs. So if there is not much jaguar activity in this area, things like this happening. You saw so many tapir tracks around this area. So that's what I think is gonna happen when jaguars are not present in this area, because they are down in the beaches.
At the height of the dry season, this body of water would look more like a trickling stream. Now, the water's edge is right up to the trees.
Do you get crocodiles here? Because I feel like I'm in a prime spot for a croc to just... Set me up. Right, okay, let's see what's on this card. Okay, yeah, so there's some ripples, so definitely something's maybe here, approaching the water.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the tapir that the tapir that left the footprint that we saw.
Oh man,
Oh yeah,
that's
nice.
great.
Yeah, so
It's swimming so fast.
effortless. Literally, the only sign is that head and then the eye shine.
Tapir tracks.
More tapir tracks. And these ones are fresh as well.
Yeah.
We hit a total of 5 camera traps,
What else? Going one down.
and the life they've captured tells of a conservation success story.
Oh, well, that's
Coati.
a coati.
There is a lot of, a deer?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Browsers and grazers are plentiful and keep the forest growth in check.
Yeah, we got a
Boom.
tapir. Hey,
That's
wait,
an adult?
something in the back.
Yeah? That is amazing. So we've got a mama and a little baby tapir.
Smaller forest mammals, like coatis and agoutis, disperse seeds that will eventually grow into mighty trees. And above, arboreal highways for countless troops of monkeys. These surprising bonds between species are usually kept in check by the apex predator of this biome, the jaguar.
The beauty of this animal, it has an ecological role. And this ecological role can be shaped like this.
Yeah, I mean, it is a beautiful place. It's quite amazing to think that just one animal can have such a huge effect on this ecosystem.
If all the jaguars are down by the beaches, you might expect prey species such as coati and agouti to be roaming carefree. But they're still cautious and hard to spot, even on the camera traps. There's clearly a piece of this puzzle that I'm still missing.
Okay, so right now I'm going to meet up with Kevin. He works with Victor, but whereas Victor specializes in jaguars and jaguar distribution, Kevin focuses on coyotes, and that's going to be perfect for me because I want to find out more about their effect on this area. How's it going, Kevin?
Hey Patrick, how's it
Yeah,
going?
good.
Good.
I'm excited to join you today. I've been focusing all my attention on jaguars so far, but having spoken to Victor, he's kind of put me onto coyotes as well. So what's the deal? Why are coyotes so important?
Why coyotes are important? Because they are a mesopredator, and they are the predators that follow behind jaguars. And so when there are jaguars present, there are no coyotes. When there are coyotes present, there are no jaguars.
Coyotes are omnivores and prey on smaller species, but they themselves are prey to jaguars. So when the apex predator population decreases, the population of these mesopredators increases. Their presence in large numbers is usually a sign of an unbalanced ecosystem.
All right, I don't think I hear anything, so let's try a different location and see if we can hear any signal. All right, let's go.
Oh wait, what's this?
Well,
Is that? No, that's just hair. Oh wait, no.
no, that's coyote poop. They like to be in this area, like up here, where it's like a bit more open. And they like to come down this way to look for food. What we see here is that this is probably a rabbit, as you can tell from the hair color and the
Yeah.
size of the hair.
Very short.
Coyotes are so highly adaptable, they'll prey on chickens, livestock, and even household pets.
With this high adaptability, what does that mean in terms of their relationship, not only with the forest, but also with other predators like jaguars?
What we've seen here from camera traps and data from the last 10 to 15 years is that coyotes are now less present in the park as they were 20 to 30 years ago. So over time, we've seen less and less presence of coyotes and more presence of jaguars.
Oh, let's see, look at that.
This is like a good example that most probably a coyote hunted what is known as a cuyeo, and they're very easy prey for coyotes.
And you think that this is probably the remnants of a coyote kill?
My best guess would be it was a coyote.
Well, if that's the case, I reckon we should get this tracker up and see if it's still around.
Oh yeah, sure. All right, let's see.
There?
You can hear a very
Yep.
faint signal. Let's see if I can try to triangulate a little bit better. It's kind of more like in that direction.
Just going to leave Kevin to it. But I'm slowly understanding what's going on here. It sounds like as the Arribada season arrives, the jaguar are responding by heading down to the beach. This is where they can feast for 4 months straight, pretty much. And in response, the coyotes are moving from the edge of the park into its interior and making the most of the prey species there. But as the Arribada ends, the reverse happens. The jaguars move back into the interior, and that forces the coyotes back onto the edge, the perimeters of the park. It's not a conclusive scientific study, but it is a snapshot into this wild world, and it definitely backs up the story that I've been trying to investigate. Let's go on, Kevin. Let's head this way.
Jaguars are kings of the forest. And while they jump on the opportunity to prey on sea turtles during the Arribada, they kill less than 1% of the local nesting population.
Loads of turtles over here.
And that's why the Arribada is such an amazing evolutionary strategy. Strength in numbers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, so many of these turtles.
Every year, an average of 37,000 olive ridley turtles come to nest on this secluded stretch of beach. These numbers overwhelm their predators, and that is the secret to the sea turtle's survival.
Okay, so this is the first stage that the females have to contend with when they first come up onto land. Look at this creature, she is huge. See how massive this shell is? It's about 70 centimeters. The whole animal in total is about 1 meter in length, really wide.
While sea turtles are masters at holding their breath underwater, on land, it's a completely different story. Their physiology doesn't allow them to walk and breathe at the same time, so they have to keep on stopping to catch their breath.
Okay, I found a turtle that's already started digging. And she's actually managed to get quite a lot of sand out already. You can imagine just how labor-intensive this whole process really is. They've been swimming thousands of miles out at sea, congregating in these huge flotillas, and then just at the right time, once they synchronize themselves, they all come up ashore, moving that huge body. Look how big that shell is. That carapace is massive. The entire animal easily weighs at least 100 pounds. And then they finally get to the right spot. It's even more work. It's funny, you wouldn't imagine these flippers that she has to be that effective at digging, but clearly it is, otherwise these turtles wouldn't be here. And from what I can tell, what she's doing is using those rear flippers to initially scoop the sand, drop it, and then flick it away. Scoop the sand, drop it, flick it away. scoop the sand, drop it, and then flick it away. Once she's finished, she will then start depositing those eggs.
Female turtles will store male sperm for up to 3 months during the breeding season, so they can produce several clutches of eggs without having to mate again. Each nest contains around 100 golf ball-sized eggs.
Can you see them there? That makes everything worthwhile. You can tell because I've got a massive smile on my face. I've never seen that before. That's the first time I've seen turtles laying eggs face to face, and it's such a special moment. Just listen. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the sound of a turtle twerking. So once the females have laid their eggs and they've covered them with sand, what they do is they use the bottom part of their carapace, the underside of their shells, to literally pound the sand back down to compact it. They want to make sure that those eggs are as safe as possible. It's like the sound of a beaten drum. This is the dance, the last dance that they perform before they head back out to the ocean.
Weather has a direct effect on the gender of the newborns. Warmer temperatures produce more females, and cooler temperatures, more males.
And these eggs here will incubate for about 45 days. And once they do hatch, they're going to return to the ocean to face a myriad, a plethora of different dangers and challenges. But with any luck, a few of them will return potentially to the same beach that they were born, that they hatched from, to start this exact process that these turtles have been following for thousands of years. In 1971, these forests were on the brinks of total collapse, and the jaguars were at the edge of extinction. And then began a great transformation, from regional deforested farmland to the stunning park we see today. New growth forest, healthier rivers and beaches, and now recolonization by revered apex predator. So what does that mean for jaguars preying on turtles? Well, it isn't a sign of crisis as you and I might initially imagine, but rather a sign of great success. Around the world, we've seen how apex predators are essential for a healthy ecosystem. And here, with a multitude of prey species available for jaguars, they're simply keeping this incredible environment in check. What I've discovered is a true success of interconnectivity, one that the world over should be paying close attention to when it comes to fighting to protect our most treasured of wild spaces. I've witnessed the gains of over 50 years of recovery. The results, at times, might be a little bit gruesome, but it's also wonderfully inspiring. Whichever way you look at it, it tells us one thing above all else, that this wild world is most definitely alive and well.